Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Joey, and this is my post-fight for UFC Vegas 26, the main event, Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson. This was a short notice main event. It was originally supposed to be Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw, which I was super devastated about. That was a fight that I was really looking forward to. Meant a lot in the bantamweight division, plus you had TJ Dillashaw's return after losing to Henry Cejudo and then getting popped for using EPO. So I was really interested in that main event. So after that main event fell out, I was kind of down on the card. And it turned out to be an okay card. On paper, this was a sneaky good card as far as decent quality fights. There was nothing that got me super excited, but there were some quality fights on the card on paper. So overall, the entire card, it turned out, you can never tell just off paper, how good the fights will be. It was all right. It wasn't the greatest. The main event was pretty good. But let's talk about the main event first. Marina Rodriguez defeats Michelle Waterson by decision. Was a very fun fight. You could tell this was a short notice fight just by both the way they both fought. Uh, Both girls were pretty tired after the third round. Uh, it started off with Marina Rodriguez winning early, pressing, landing a lot of right hands. And I said in my prediction videos, by the way, I'm keeping track of all my predictions for main events for 2021. Right now, after this tonight, I picked Marina Rodriguez. I am 13-2. The only two fights I got wrong so far is I picked Connor against Dustin, and I picked Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blades. But right now, I'm 13-2. Not bad for main events, but full disclosure, for all the predictions I made on this card, I got them all wrong except the main event. So take it for what you will. Marina Rodriguez came out, and she fought exactly how I thought she would. Her hands are very fast. She has good power. And Michelle Waterson just has absolutely no hands at all. Her boxing is terrible. She had great kicks, though. She was chopping the lead leg of Marina Rodriguez, but she was eating them. There was a couple towards maybe the third round that kind of, stung her a good bit. And you could tell she felt those leg kicks. But for the most part, she was just walking Waterson down. Waterson was trying to maintain the distance with the side kick to the body. It just wasn't working. Marina was just walking. She looked like she was looking for the finish all night. Somebody who joined me for the live chat, said Rodriguez is a strawweight Paul Acosta. I wouldn't go that far, but that's how she fought for the first two rounds. And I thought, just based on Rodriguez's past, cardio issues, I don't know if you want to call them issues or not, but she's tend to fade it in the third round or so in some of her previous fights, and this was a 5-round fight. I thought maybe if it got past 2 that Michelle Waterson might take over, and it started to look like that a bit. So Marina Rodriguez easily won the first 3 rounds. She was dominant on the feet. Waterson tried for a couple takedowns, wasn't landing. Waterson landed a couple kicks to the body. But Rodriguez, her striking looked great. She was landing combinations. At one point, she threw a leg kick and then a head kick. Landed flush right on the top of Michelle Waterson's head. I'm not sure what round it was in. Looked like it hurt her. She rushed in. But the reason I say you could tell that both girls took this on short notice is because they were very, very conservative in the first few rounds. The fourth round came around, and this is when the tide looked like it might turn. Michelle Waterson was able to get Rodriguez down. Rodriguez just had nothing for her off her back. She was tired. She didn't even appear like she was trying to get up, and Michelle Waterson held her down for 3 minutes. She landed some good elbows, some good ground and pound, but at no point was really Rodriguez in any trouble in that fight. And then in the fifth round, Rodriguez was more of the same, pressing forward, obviously a little bit slower, a little bit tired. Both girls took some damage. Waterson landed a big, I don't even know if you want to call it like a hook kick. It was some type of head kick. Landed right on Rodriguez's jaw, and it started to swell up immediately, and it hurt her badly. And it didn't look good for her for, about 30 seconds or so. She stumbled a bit. Michelle Waterson started pressing forward, but Michelle Waterson's hands are just so bad. I keep coming back to that. I'm not even sure if she landed one punch all fight. Her hands are that bad. It's just her. She's all kicks. She's like a worse version of Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis had amazing kicks, but his hands were never good, and that's what Waterson is at. So she kind of pressed forward. She didn't really land anything else after she hurt her. She wasn't super urgent. And eventually Rodriguez recovered and fought hard for that last 3-4 minutes of the fight, however long it was after the kick landed. Again, same style fight. She pressed forward, landing combinations, and she was just lighting Waterson up, and Waterson had no answers. She kept using that side kick to the body to try to maintain distance, but it just wasn't working for her. Rodriguez was walking through it. She was eating the leg kicks, and Waterson was throwing some heavy leg kicks, but Rodriguez was just eating them. And lit her up on the feet, went to the judges' scorecard. People were talking about, I wouldn't want to judge this fight. I thought it was clear-cut, 4-1 Rodriguez. I thought Rodriguez won rounds 1 through 3 and won round 5. Waterson clear-cut won round 4. The fight wasn't super close. It was entertaining for what it was. Again, I'm just still down because I was originally just looking forward to Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. So the fact that we lost that fight, I was already down on this event. But Marina Rodriguez pulls it off. I'm excited to see where she goes here. I think she can be a legit title contender. I don't know if she'll ever be a championship caliber fighter, but she can get into a title fight. I guess she can potentially win a title. So I'm excited to see her improvements. I think she definitely needs to work on her cardio, but it's hard to tell. Obviously she took this fight on short notice, so you can't really hold it against her fading in this fight. But she's shown that a little bit in her past as well. But she had great leg kicks too, and she was throwing great combinations. She was throwing hard leg kicks and then following up with a head kick, which she landed multiple times on Michelle Waterson. And Michelle Waterson, I don't think will ever be an elite contender. She will perpetually be the strawweight gatekeeper. And Rodriguez showed that tonight. She beat her, and now she'll move forward, maybe fight someone in the top 5 next. There's plenty of fun matchups at women's strawweight division, and I can't wait to see where she goes from here. Let's move on to the co-main event, which I find pretty disturbing and sad almost. Donald Cerrone was originally supposed to fight Diego Sanchez. We know the whole Diego Sanchez debacle. Diego pulled out last week, was cut by the UFC, so Alex Morono volunteered to step in on 1 week short notice. And Alex Morono just came out and wrecked Donald Cerrone. From the very start of the bell, he came out swinging heat. I think he eventually landed a big right hand, then just started swarming Donald Cerrone. He landed body shots, head shots. He was switching it up, going from the head to the body. The referee gave Donald Cerrone all the time in the world, but Donald Cerrone was not able to recover at all. And eventually it was stopped, standing TKO, first round TKO. Big win for Alex Morono. I know a lot of people are going to say, he can build his name off Donald Cowboy Cerrone. I'm not impressed. Donald Cerrone is now winless in his last 6 fights. He could arguably be on a 6-fight losing streak if that Nico Price point deduction and then it was turned over to a no contest because Price tested positive for marijuana or something. So Cerrone's arguably on a 5-fight losing streak coming into this fight, so now he's on a 6-fight losing streak. And I know he's fought a lot of killers, but I don't know. Moreno looked good, especially coming in for 1 week's notice. But it's yet to be seen if he's going to be able to hang with the elite lightweights. The lightweight division is so deep. Moving on, Neal Magny versus Geoff Neal, the most disappointing fight of the night. Geoff Neal looked great in the first round. He was coming forward, throwing big left hands. Every time he got close, Neal Magny was pulling him in, just clinching against the cage. It was an all right fight, but it wasn't nothing super entertaining for me. Neal Magny started to turn it on a little bit more in the third round, was landing some good jabs. I thought personally Geoff Neal clearly took the first round. Neal Magny probably took the second round, and Neal Magny probably took the third round. But there wasn't a lot going on. It was just Geoff Neal coming in, and then Neal Magny clinching up with him, and then not a lot of strikes thrown in the clinch. Neither guy was super impressive tonight. I'm not impressed with either guy. It looks like Neal Magny will probably be fighting Khamzat Chimaev next. That's a fight that Neal Magny was calling for a while, and it probably, Khamzat called him out tonight, so that's probably the next fight when Khamzat does eventually return. I'm not even going to talk about Maurice Green versus Rogerio de Lima. That was a terrible fight. Don't even care to mention it after, just mentioning it right there because I'm reading off the card right now. The best fight on the entire card was Carlos Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie. That was the best fight on the entire card. Scrambles from start to finish. Gregor Gillespie just, returning after a year and a half, just relentlessly looking for the takedowns. And Diego Ferreira was able to reverse him, get in advantageous positions, land his own shots. And it looked like, Gregor might be looking at another loss just because he was able to get Ferreira down, but he wasn't able to hold him down at all. So Ferreira kept scrambling back to his feet. If he got taken down again, he was scrambling to an advantageous position, top game. But Gregor's stamina paid off tonight because he was able to Eventually, just with the consistent takedown after takedown after takedown, and Diego Ferreira scrambling after scramble after scramble after scramble, Diego started to wear down. And he finally got a takedown in the second round, I believe it was. Yeah, because it was the second round. So he finally got a takedown in the second round, and Ferreira was worn down, wasn't able to get up. Eventually got his back mounted, flattened him out, and just pounded him out. And it was crazy because at the end of the first round, Diego had him in the same position and was pounding on him, landed some good elbows, had a full mount, back mount, was going back and forth through scrambles, landed a big elbow right before the bell ended, and Gregor was wobbled going back to his corner. So it's crazy how Gregor went from almost being finished in the first round to getting the finish in the second round in a very similar position. Great performance by Gregor Gillespie. I wonder who he'll fight next. There's probably some great matchups for him at lightweight. Right now, most of the guys are tied up. I think he said he wants to fight someone in the top 10 next. I don't know if that'll happen. Great performance coming off a year-and-a-half layoff, and before that, he was brutally KO'd by Kevin Lee by head kick. So I thought he was going to lose. After seeing that first round, I thought he was going to lose. And to come back and use your stamina as a weapon like he did and finish Carlos Diego Ferreira in the second round was a great performance. He was crying in the post-fight interview. I can't wait to see where he goes from here next, but his hands are just terrible. Again, I know I'm complaining about people striking tonight, but the relentless wrestling is where he's going to win his fights. And that can pay off at lightweight. There's not a lot of guys, especially with Khabib gone, that have that wrestling heavy style, that grappling heavy style that he has. And his stamina is just unlimited, it seems like. Because he looked kind of exhausted after that first round, but nope, he just came out, business as usual. Was able to take Diego down again and again and again. Eventually, I don't remember at what point, he eventually dominated the top position and was able to get the finish. But we'll see where Gregor goes from here. I think that pretty much wraps up the card. Phil's Hawes won a decision against Kyle Daukaus. It was an okay fight. Hawes did not wear down, so it looks like he might have addressed his cardio issue. He looked good in the third round. But the best fight on the card was definitely the Marina Rodriguez, Michelle Waterson fight. Great fight. Marina Rodriguez moves up in the rankings. She'll be fighting a legit, top 5 probably next. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, make sure you subscribe. I'll be putting out UFC 262 prediction video early this week, upcoming week, so make sure you guys check that out. Click the like button for me, and if you join me on my live stream, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.